I walk into a business, I look at the business from a different lens. I'll say, okay, is it secure? How many employees do they have here? How many computers? What are they using? How do they have it set up? Is how many offices versus how many cubicles? Is it an open environment? Is it a private environment? Are people talking to each other? Is there a culture built? Are people hanging up stuff to show what they're all about? Is there family pictures around their table? Because if people have family pictures around their computers, that means they're probably going to be there a little longer than usual. You're a different story. You're a hacker. You walked into our building. What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? How are you sizing us for our vulnerabilities?
So in the hacking world, they would call it reconnaissance or enumeration. So what I would be doing is trying to see what type of equipment you have, what computers you're running, what operating system you're running, go on my phone, try to figure out what type of Wi-Fi you're running, you know, whether it be WPA, WP3, et cetera.
Why does that matter to you, what kind of Wi-Fi?
Different types of attacks depending on some different scenarios. And you know, if people have their phones out, is it majority Android or is it a majority iPhone? And, you know, they call it a threat landscape. So I would take the attack surface or threat landscape and then try my best to, you know, take over as many devices as possible and manipulate as many people in this building that I can to get what I want. If we were on an engagement doing a penetration test.
If we were in an engagement doing a penetration test, and how long would a penetration test take with you?
Depends on the size of the business, but usually, I mean, we have a pretty good team. I mean, I would say, like, in my personal opinion, one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. So usually fast and done well, but you know, a lot of times I get involved as well. So and I seem to be like you know, very thorough because I care. It's my company. I'm sure you can relate to that, and it's
Are you naturally more a CTO? Is that what your wiring is?
No. I mean, I've always been a CEO. I just happened to be the CTO of Sentinel Foundation because that's what they titled me. But I handle a lot more than just CTO-related things with Sentinel Foundation.
Let me ask a different question. So when it comes down to CIA or, you know, Mossad or MI6 or some of these secret intelligence, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you'll hear stories about the fact that, hey, you know, these guys have the best secret intelligence. Those guys have the best secret intelligence. If you really wanted to, you know, hack into Mossad, mm-hmm. okay, the Israeli military intelligence, or MI6, UK military intelligence, or even our CIA, could you do it? And how deep could you go in?
So if I would, I mean, I can't say that I can or can't because I've never tried, but I would say the first thing that I would go for would be an individual. I would try to befriend an individual, whether that be with my real name or with an alias, and I would try to manipulate that individual into doing something that would give me access to their devices.
Okay, so that's your pattern on how to, okay, so let's just say you got in. What are you looking for to get in? Because those guys, they typically have two separate phones, right? Mm-hmm. And they probably know guys like you, and they probably get trained to be careful on what to do with guys like you, right? Mm-hmm. Turn off your Bluetooth, turn off your Wi-Fi when you're around them or any of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But okay, but let's just say you do. What's your next step after that?
So after I get a, like...
Say you got a Mossad agent or an MI6 or a CIA, you got somebody. You get info from them, then what are you doing next?
I'm going to try to authenticate to, let's say it's a web server. I'm going to try to authenticate to the web server to see what type of data I can pull from it or hide my persistence on that web server so they can't find me and get rid of me. And then I'm going to try to pivot to the other, you know, computers inside of that network or in that organization, whether it be computers or devices. That would be my next steps. So you have to have some point of exploitation or some point of weakness. You take advantage of that point of weakness, whether it be a person or a device or a website, whatever it may be, and then you want to pivot around that network and look for more devices and more people to infect.
Okay, so let's think about WikiLeaks. Okay, Julian Assange, yes. Right? What happened with him? And he just came here. I thought he was here, and then he went back to Australia. Not here. I think he went to Bahamas or something like that. He was somewhere around here 4 weeks ago, and then he flew back to the Bahamas. A person like a Julian Assange, okay, or a person like you know, everybody is wondering what happened with the Epstein files, right? It's just it's on a lot of people's minds.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And if these guys did what they did and they held these people hostage, because like even this guy named Leon Black, who's a multi-billionaire, he ends up paying some I don't know what the number was. What did Leon Black pay Epstein for consulting fees? Zoom in, $150 million in fees for tax services. I've never heard of that before. And load him $30 million and also made a $10 million donation to his charity, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of weird to do something like that to
That's
Epstein.
A little odd,
That's a little odd, right? It gets a guy like you question that. If you really wanted to go into finding out what Epstein had access to, what types of files and videos and stuff like that, and that was your real mission, like you were determined to do, because let's just say one of the girls that he was abusing that was underage was a sister of yours or a cousin of yours or a niece of yours. Mm-hmm. If that produced the emotion that I think can produce in a person like you, do you think you could find the files of what Epstein had if you really wanted to?
I think that if I couldn't find it digitally, I would swim across that damn ocean and get on his island, and I'd find it. I would do it that way. I would, talk about, just this, keeping it basic with the technology, because there's way more attacks than just Wi-Fi. But just, even if it meant swimming across, getting on a boat, and just, going around in a circle with that island, trying to connect to one of those computers if he had one, I would try everything I possibly could. Especially while the island was populated. Now that he's dead, I can only go off of what people have, and what's out there. And there's only one journalist that I'm familiar with that I know of that has his black book and his wife at the black book. I don't know much more that was released about the guy. Like I personally don't even know how he became a billionaire. I have no idea. I don't know that much about him.
We just showed it to you. That's how he became a billionaire.
I thought that I misread that. I thought it said millions.
No, but that's one client, though. So imagine the accusations that are being made is the fact that he had so much intel on so many people that he would bring to the island, and he had videos and things that they did that he would come back and say, hey, now you got to pay me X, Y, Z, or now you got to do this. I need this offer, and I need this favor, I need that favor. And that kind of combined, you get a lot of people that are willing to pay the kind of money that they're paying you. It doesn't take much to become a billionaire.
Well, he was extorting them, yeah.
That's exactly the key. Yeah. That's what a lot of people accuse him of.
Yeah, well, I mean, but really, to get extorted in that situation, you have to take advantage of a child. So, I mean, I don't feel bad for either side. I don't feel bad for, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein or anyone that he extorted. If they're going to rape a child, I think they deserve that.
Yeah, but how many people like you are out there in America? If you were to say, capable like you, how many of you are out there?
I mean, it's hard to tell because everyone's anonymous, or going by, not everyone, but most. If I had to take a guess of actual hackers, not just beginners getting into the field.
No, at the level that you're at, if not higher than you, how many of those are out there?
Let's just say 10,000 to 50,000.
That's a lot, though.
I don't know, for China, they have a lot of people. And
I'm talking U.S. How many do you think there are?
U.S., I would say 20,000.
10,000 of people that can do what you do.
Yeah, but not working with our army and our military to the extent that people may think.
What do you mean?
I had a recruiter come in when I was speaking at Hack Miami, and the recruiter told me that there were less than 1,000 people in the entire army that is fighting for our country with a computer, cybercrime, or cyber warfare. My apologies.
Yeah, I don't think you would do it because you're not trying to make enemies. From the feeling I'm getting from you is you're trying to avoid making enemies is what you're trying to do.
I'm making enemies all the time.
So do you think, so let me ask you, who do you think is the biggest, well, I don't know, because to me, I don't know how to do what you do. I don't have that talent. That's your talent, right? Mm-hmm. But if somebody, let's just say I'm living because I don't think it's that hard to find out what Epstein did. I don't think it's that hard to find out what Diddy had on his files for him to get raided in Miami and LA. I don't think you guys look at it and say, how do you not know? I think guys like you look at it and says, how the hell do you not go get it? You know what happened.
Oh, if I had the same authority that somebody that could seize his files or get access to where he was at, if I had that authority, it'd be game over for him. But when it's all sealed up and stored in an evidence locker, so you still couldn't get through that? I mean, it doesn't mean I couldn't do that, but I would be breaking the law if I did. and it's already being handled at that point, hopefully.
I don't think it is, though. See, I don't think it is. I think the saving grace to put a stop to the pedophilia movement and the human trafficking is guys like you.
Well, I appreciate that.
I don't think they look like Navy SEALs. I don't think they look like me. I think they look like you. I think they fear the hell out of people like you.
Well, hey guys, my name is Ryan Montgomery, also known as Zero Day. I'm proud to be part of the app Minect. If you have any questions regarding child safety, cybersecurity, or even any of the gadgets that you see me use all over the internet, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you with any questions or concerns you may have. Stay safe.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.